Hello, hello, hello. It's Putty and welcome to episode 83 of the Roundup. And in today's episode, it's our EWC predictions, but it's a bit of a weird format, so I don't actually know if I can do proper predictions. We had the last man qualifiers, um, last chance qualifier, sorry, in Paris, where it was the Pit EU who, for the first ever time, actually had a team. They're normally just challengers news for European challengers. They actually fielded a team and they've managed to get through. And they will be playing in the Esports World Cup this week. They also pick up some money as well because there was a prize pool for all of the participants of the last chance qualifier, which I thought was quite good. Um, but it could be potentially the final dance for some of these teams. I mean, Scrap and Hydra, the two people on the thumbnail, it could be their last chance. Partner up. Could Thieves, after a dreadful champs last year and this year, and a dreadful EWC last year, can they win one of the big two prizes here? Obviously, it's a $2 million prize pool, so there's a huge amount of money on the line. And obviously, to be EWC champion would be a very good achievement. Obviously, it's not champs, but it's still a great achievement. So we'll have to see what happens there. And as well, we did have two little bits of roster mania. Nothing huge, but we have got two little bits of roster mania to talk to you about. So if you do enjoy, please do like. So this is the penultimate episode, technically, of season 3 of the Roundup, even though we don't call it season 3. We just have it episode by episode, but 84 will be the last one, and then we'll have a bit of time off, which will be obviously nice. I think it gets to a point where it does drain you out a little bit, or it gets a bit boring sometimes. I'll kind of talk about that at the end though of this episode. So without further ado, let's get into it. So first of all, the G2 tried to get Pred on the roster, but the deal fell through. Beans, however, is getting another chance on a CDL team. Obviously, he started the season off at Cloud9, but they dropped everyone, so nothing really bad for him. He's had a really good challengers run, and he's going to be playing with G2 at the EWC. So hope a decent little roster. Obviously, he's good friends with Nasty as well, and they'll be joined with Kremp and Envoy. It's actually a pretty solid squad. If they could get like a semi-final, pick up some decent money. But Beans is in, Skies is dropped. I think Skies had some good moments this season, but they were predominantly in S&D. There was a lot of games where he just was a bit too slow and he wasn't fragging enough, so I can understand it from a G2 point of view. Obviously, G2 as well did just win the Warzone Esports World Cup event, so congratulations to G2. That's a great start somewhere. That's some team points as well, even though we know that Falcons are going to win that because they always do. Obviously, this year EWC is played in Paris because of the conflict in the Middle East. Um, so I'm interested to see how the arena is with the gentle suits, and it's going to be exciting. But obviously, again, the timings aren't the best. But I'm only going to miss Saturday's action predominantly, and that's about it. For I think Saturday's action's the only one I'll miss, and maybe a bit of Friday. Anyway, the other WrestleMania news is Carolina are going to be signing Trakes. There was a contract dispute with Bush because Ravens are a poverty org, so they're like, oh, well, we don't want to pay for him. But Trakes is going to be on a team that isn't Miami Heretics. Obviously, was unfairly dropped from Miami Heretics in the majority of people's opinion. And he's going to get a chance now with uh, Carolina. So I'm assuming that means that Standy's not coming back. Obviously, Knox was on loan. Actually, not 100% sure on that one, so we will actually have a little look into that. Carolina haven't tweeted anything. Oh, GWINN. I forgot about GWINN. Or did we talk about GWINN already? There actually was sorry, GWINN. Yeah, Cloud9 have actually made a positive change. Hyde has been dropped. I think it was Hyde that's been dropped. and GWINN is on Cloud9. Yeah, they're obviously not going to have a great tournament still, but at least GWINN gets a chance to be in EWC. I don't know what GWINN will do next year. Oh wait, yeah, no, it's This is what I'm. Do you know what? I'm just out the loop because Fire, but now he's called Fear, played for Bush at their last chance qualifier. So it's Trakes. I don't know if it's Nox or Standy. Uh, Lurks, and I genuinely don't know who the other player is. Oh, Exceed. So yeah, GWINN is on Cloud9 as well. Obviously, it gives these players like Trakes, Beans, even though Beans not really, but like it gives Trakes a chance to play on an English CDL team. So like, how will he cope? Because people will look at potentially picking him up next year. Same goes with GWINN. Obviously, had a bad couple of seasons, but maybe it just was the Black Ops 7. Maybe he just wasn't good at the Black Ops games. That's quite a funny comment. But yeah, anyway. So this is how EWC looks. So it's two groups of 8 this year. It makes it hard for me to predict because I don't know what the bracket will look like. I'm assuming that obviously you won't play 7 games. My assumption is that you'll probably play 3. Top 4 go through. So I can at least do my predictions for the top 4 teams, then I'm just going to have to pick a winner. So from the challengers teams, we've got Omit, The Pit, P7, Project Notorious I think is P7, and Team War. Team War always seem to get into challenge into EWC. I mean, I know we always know Omit will, because Omit get the best challengers players, because Rafi does a great job with them, but I think FaZe Gentlemates will definitely get through from Group A, and I think Optic, 100 Thieves, and Team Falcons will definitely get through from Group B. So then there's one more spot between Heretics, Breach, Surge, P7, and War. I mean, you would assume that it's probably going to be Heretics or Breach. I can't see it. Who's Boston Breach's roster again? Like, they've made so many changes. Spark, Purge, Afro, and TJ? Or did Purge get dropped? No, I think that is the team. Surge's team. Nero. um, like, is it bad that I've forgotten these rosters? Because obviously, Major 4 was only a month ago, right? Just over a month ago, and I can't remember these teams. By the way, that video um has, well, when I'm recording this, it's got nearly 100 views, which is very impressive. It'll be the second most. It'll be the second video, this second episode this year to get the 100 views. Obviously, I'm hoping for that more often for season 4, but I don't think Black Ops 7 has been as an exciting and dramatic Call of Duty season. In all fairness. So I will go with Heretics, but if Afro pops off, then it could easily be a Breach win. Genuinely don't know who's on that Surge roster except Nero. Uh, I don't think there's any rookies on it. I want to try and think who it is before actually checking. Nero. Because they obviously had a couple. Their roster has completely changed since the season started. But Surge were not making a roster change. That doesn't help me. Oh, Lunas. Lunas is on that team. So there's 2 players. I don't know. Oh well, not the end of the world. So my prediction will be Group B, Optic, Falcons, Heretics, Thieves. Group A, I'm gonna go FaZe, Gentlemates, G2, and it's between Koi and Ravens really. But Ravens haven't shown it on LAN. I'll go with Koi, but it's close between Koi and Ravens. I don't think we're going to see any of the Challengers teams get top 8, unfortunately. So then obviously you'd have, I'm assuming that someone from Group A would play someone from Group B. First in Group A would play fourth in Group B. Vice versa. So let's say Optic played Koi, I'd have Optic. I think if Thieves came second, they would play third, so G2, and I think Thieves beat G2. And then I think Gentlemates would probably play Falcons. Um, and I think Gentlemates will get their revenge from Champs. And then I think FaZe beat Heretics, which then would probably mean that FaZe would play. Uh, would it be FaZe versus Thieves, Optic versus Gentlemates? Semi-finals? I think I don't know. This is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to predict the winner because it's a bit more difficult, you know? I can't really predict how I normally would like to predict. So my EWC 2026 winner. So obviously this is the third year of EWC. The first year was in terms of the production and that wasn't great, but last year was good. This year I think it'll be even better because it's in Paris instead of Riyadh. So FaZe won it in 24. Obviously Optic won Champs, FaZe won EWC. In 2025 Optic won both. I don't think FaZe will win EWC. In 2024, obviously Thieves got to the grand finals with the team of Ghosty, Joe Deceives, Nasty, and Krem, I think. Pretty good. Obviously, the top four teams have all won this season. Gentlemates won Major 1, FaZe won Major 2 and Champs. Thieves won Major 3, Optic won Major 4. Optic have obviously been runner-up in all of them. I don't predict Optic to win because they never do. I'm going to go with Gentlemates to win EWC. Why not? Let's just go something a bit different. I've never really I've never really gone for a team that isn't Optic, FaZe or Thieves or previously NYSL or Ultra when they were obviously a bit better with Scrap. But I'd normally wouldn't go for the fourth favourite to win the event. Or you could even potentially say fifth favourite if you wanted to put Falcons ahead of them. But was Falcons just a fluke run potentially? But yeah, my prediction is that Gentlemates are going to win EWC. And I think they will play Thieves in the final, if that's possible, or FaZe. I think Optic will get eliminated in the semi-finals. That's my prediction. So there you go. Gentlemates to win. MVP as well, actually. MVP. Who got MVP at EWC 25? Shotzi, I think it was. I think EWC 26 MVP will be Joe Deceives. So, regarding the roundup, I know I could have done this at the end of next week's episode, where it is the final episode of the season. And then we have a few weeks off for off season, and then we get back for the Rostermania drama, which I love doing the Rostermania drama, especially when there's going to be so much going on. There's going to be like 10 different Rostermanias in one episode. I haven't enjoyed this Call of Duty season as much as the others. I haven't watched as many games as I have the others. I'm glad that COD's getting played in Europe, and obviously I want to go to, if they have an event in England next year, I do want to go. Making the roundup has been fine though. I've enjoyed making the roundup this year. Compared to last year, I've enjoyed it more, which is weird because I enjoyed the Call of Duty action more. And I'm not just saying this because Optic only won one event this year because they were dreadful last year, but I still enjoyed making the content. They were good this year. They obviously came runner-up loads. Um, obviously next season we're going to get to that episode 100, which is a remarkable achievement in my opinion. Um, but what I will say is I am a bit disappointed with the viewership. First, obviously, we had that anomaly episode, which obviously was when Optic won Champs 24. It's got over 520 views. That's absolutely phenomenal. We still get a few views on it now and then, but I don't expect an episode of the Roundup to beat that. I would just be hoping that we would be getting like more. I'd say a good episode is if we get 40 views on it. Next year, I'm going to try and up that, so we're trying to average 50 views. I might get the numbers up for this for next week at the end, but if I was to do an average of how many views per episode we've had in each season, obviously season one was shorter because we started it earlier. I think that obviously we have to put that into perspective, but I do think that the viewership has gone uh, sideways really. I mean, if I look at obviously champs, uh, if I have a look at the 25, I mean this week, the Fairs champs already got over 50 views. I expected 24 champs got over 500, 23 champs, I think, yeah, 25 champs got 150 views, I think. It's like the second or third most viewed roundup, behind the one where Skies comes in for Kenny. So I'm kind of hoping that Fairs one will still build up to potentially get to around 80 to 100, but obviously it wasn't as much effort as the last 2 years. It wasn't as long, so I can get that. There has been a lot shorter episodes. I mean, this one's going to be what, 17 and a half minutes, roughly. I know they obviously haven't been as long, but there just isn't as much to talk about. But I'm hoping the next year will be a bit different. But I'll see you next week for the final episode. Make sure to like this one if you enjoy, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.